So this is a pitch about my new idea for a 2D game that I want to create for Final Major. So basically I'm David and I've had a great idea for a 2D game. I've already been able to come up with a name for the game. It's presented through the small game created. Right, so basically the basic idea, I just wanted to start from a single mechanic and build out from that. And the basic mechanic is, back in the days of old 2D games, there was things like the old cheat books that you used to get. And I figured, if this is going to be a 2D adventure game with some quests, I thought rather than having your basic inventory system of getting, or you found a sword, you just get it in your inventory, you can use it and drop it whenever you want. And I thought, why not have it, you get given a cheat code, and you put this cheat code in a little book, which is now your inventory. And every time you go to select that cheat code, it spawns in that item. And so you can basically have the unlimited of that code, but you would start with something simple, sort of a wooden sword cheat code, and then as you do quests and find secrets, you could find even rarer stuff. So you could find the Excalibur sword, for example, through a secret cave or something, and then you can obviously spawn that in, and it has great stats, so you could take on the final boss at the end. And that's basically kind of the Dark Souls-ish kind of thing of you build up your character to take on the boss, and you can take the boss on at any time with any item, but obviously it's going to be much, much harder. So if you want to make it easier, you go out, you do side quests, you do that kind of idea and build up your character in a sense, or armour and weapons. The actual inspiration for the game, the mechanic, I kind of came up on my own, but the idea of 2D games kind of concept came from games like Binding of Isaac for its kind of dungeon crawling features. So just going through individual rooms, you can choose which rooms you want to go through, and you just get given different enemies to fight with a small chance of loot every time. Games like Terraria, which had multiple bosses and open world, so you had to increase your character's armour and weapons in order to fight the different bosses and eventually complete the game. And Broforce, just for its really nice level destruction and its gore, because obviously I want the game to look nice as well, so I want it to have this cool gore and really nice looking bosses to fight for each individual level. I plan to make it using the things that I use to make the educational games, so Construct, Pistol and Pixel Edit. To create the Pixel Edit I'll be using for pretty much all the environments. They'll be what I'll be using to make all the different tile maps and skyboxes and stuff like that. I'll be using Pistol to create all the NPCs, give them all nice animations, the bosses, so again give them some nice animations. And the main character himself, I'll be making loads of different designs for the main character, because I want him to have some be able to customise him at the start, so you can change, much like Terraria did, change his hairstyle, the colour of his shirt and that kind of thing, just so you can have a bit more of a personalised character. And it'll all be put together through Construct 2 and built through that. So is there any questions?
You said a minute ago that the bosses can be taken on any time. If you have the worst gear, to say,
yeah,
like I wouldn't solve it like me, could you take on maybe a boss with that wooden sword? Would it be possible?
It'll be kind of, you have your main hub world, which would be your starting area, and from there's nothing in that world, it's just your little peaceful zone, and there'll be loads of areas to go to through that area. And the main boss of the whole game is accessible, but he's obviously going to be very hard to kill with just the basic wooden gear at the start. So if you're some really good player who could avoid all of his attacks and get all your attacks in and willing to spend hours on end trying to kill him, you could probably beat it within the first item set. But the whole point of the game is to actually go out and find all the secrets, all the mini bosses, take on all the little distorted characters and find all the NPCs and help them. And it's basically kind of that kind of open world RPG-ish feel for that. Just you choose what you want to do, you're not kind of being forced down a path.
Yeah, you've been talking a lot about certain weapons and stuff so far, but will there be any ranged weapons, maybe bows and stuff?
At the moment I want to keep it to melee, just because obviously it's a simple mechanic to implement. But once I've got a nice variation of weapons to choose from, I might start looking into maybe some bow and arrows, a crossbow, but given like, so a crossbow would have a longer load time but more power, a bow and arrow obviously quicker to fire, but is not as damaging, so just simple things like that. But obviously the different variations, you could start with a wooden bow, so maybe like a class select at the start, whether you're a warrior, an archer, or maybe even a mage if you get the time, just so you can find these different items throughout the world. But it depends on, again, how much time I have and how simple it is to implement these mechanics.
Will you be able to find armor in the game?
Yeah, armor honestly will increase your character's stats you have, because I won't have soft stats that you like for games like RuneScape. You won't get soft stats of your upgrade health. It's all via items. So if you have wood armor, your stats might be 1 1 1 1 if you got a whole set. Or if you have like an iron helmet, you'll be 2 1 1 1 1, and that'd be how many hits you can take and how much damage it will resist from a boss. So you work your way up to something like a diamond armor set or something like that, for example. Then you get really high stats and you can just take the hits and take on these really huge kind of Dark Souls style bosses that I want to build. Yep.
Would there be a range of sounds? So,
Yeah. There'll be basic sounds from slashes and the clinks of armour, which I probably will have to find off royalty free, that kind of thing, because I don't think I could simulate those in real life. But there'll be things like just from sounds from basic walking with nice ambience. I do want to actually put in music to the game, so ambience music when it's peaceful, nice just regular fighting music when you take on the creeps, but then some nice cool boss musics. And if I do have the time to find different like cool songs, just nice instrumentals for the different bosses you fight. So if it's just say it's the first boss, you get like a nice guitar riff whilst you're fighting it. And if you're going up against another boss, it might be a drum solo, and it's just fighting the different bosses and the music and sounds to accompany them, because that's where the main focus is going to be with each boss you fight. It's going to be a different experience.
One more question?
So it seems like quite a sort of RPG style game. So I was thinking, do you think on maybe implementing sort of traders for it, or sort of currency system?
This will be part with the NPCs, so there'll be, most of them will be quest givers. Go hunt down these characters and now lead you to a boss or something like that, or some might be lead you to a secret. But if I can, mainly in the quiet hub world, there'll be a trader there who you can go up to, and you can sell any old gear for either a form of currency or trade for another. I'm not too sure on that. Or if you go out into these individual worlds and help an NPC, they might, apart from gifting you item codes, you might go up to them and they might, have rare loot for you to find off them. But they might be really expensive to buy, something like that. But it's one of those. It just depends on what happens during the process.